Emma Taylor stood at the edge of a sprawling forest, her gaze fixed on the gray facility that loomed behind the trees. It was an unremarkable building, concrete and cold, surrounded by a high fence that whispered of secrets. Renowned in the field of psychology, Emma had a reputation for transforming troubled minds into well-functioning beings. Yet, beneath her polished surface lay a tumultuous past riddled with personal darkness. Her obsession with the human psyche had driven an indelible wedge between her and her past life, a past she intended to keep buried. The recruitment process for the study was meticulous. After carefully evaluating participants based on their psychological profiles, Emma handpicked a diverse group of individuals, all grappling with their own demons. To them, it was a chance for redemption. For Emma, it was an opportunity to explore the crevices of their minds. The candidates signed confidentiality agreements, sealing their fates. As they gathered in the sterile conference room, tension hung in the air like a specter. "Welcome, everyone," Emma began, her voice calmly measured. "You've been chosen." The first week consisted of introductory tests. Participants underwent personality assessments and cognitive evaluations in cold, fluorescent-lit rooms. To Emma, the data was merely numbers, but to the participants, it was the first glimpse into a reality they wished to understand. Once the assessments were complete, they were shown to their living quarters, small, meticulously designed cells. Rules were laid out clearly. No contact with the outside world, strict adherence to the schedule, and absolute candor in their experiences during the experiments. But something wasn't right. Days passed, and strange occurrences began to disrupt the seemingly orderly process. Equipment malfunctioned, machines hummed ominously, and disembodied whispers danced among the walls at night. At first, they dismissed the oddities as figments of stress and anxiety, but when a light bulb flickered and extinguished only moments after Emma's back was turned, unease settled in their minds. As the initial shock wore off, participants found themselves increasingly isolated. Unauthorized conversations were monitored. Before long, they ceased to connect, feeling swallowed by the sterile environment. Separated from one another, the emotional intensity of the experiments escalated, and paranoia seeped into their thoughts like a poison. Whispers turned into voices, fleeting shadows morphed into figures lurking in the corners of their vision. Each participant began suspecting the others, a mere glance sparking accusations of betrayal. Jennifer, an artist with an unsettling past, claimed to have seen her own face reflected in the glass after midnight, grim and twisted. Jack, a once revered teacher burdened by guilt, began to hear laughter that gnawed at his sanity. Emma watched a disintegration of their camaraderie with analytical interest, her own past surfacing like a well-worn specter. She couldn't help but feel a sick thrill at their desperation, a desperate pleasure shadowed by her hidden motives. One by one, the participants' dark secrets unfurled like tattered flags in the wind. Jennifer's haunting memories of abandonment clawed to the surface, spurring visions that painted her nights with dread. Jack, who had lost a student to suicide, relived the moment relentlessly. Each psychological crack widened under Emma's subtle manipulation as she played upon their fears. "Do you feel that?" Emma once asked, feigning concern as they stood in a darkened hallway. "That creeping feeling. It's the past, surfacing, challenging you." As trust evaporated, alliances formed and then fractured like glass under strain. What began as a quest for healing descended into violence, accusations turned into confrontations under the cover of night. The supernatural began to assert itself more fiercely. Participants reported apparitions that whispered their fears amid shadows left undisturbed. Emma, always the observer, reveled in the chaos. Each manifestation was a testament to their unraveling minds. But as madness unfurled, the veil began to lift. Whispers transformed into shouts, and the participants silently banded together in a desperate quest for answers. What had begun as a promising study revealed itself to be a dark experiment. Taylor's true intention surfaced. She sought to unleash their inner demons, examining their reactions like an entomologist observing insects under glass. With their combined histories exposing the facility's sinister past, humors of malevolent entities, failed psychological experiments, and secrets lost within stone walls, truth became their only weapon against Dr. Taylor. "We can't let her," Jennifer's trembling voice broke the conspirators' silence. "She's toying with us." United by fear, the participants braced for inevitable confrontation, driven by the realization that survival depended upon confronting their deepest fears. In the aftermath, the world beyond the facility remained blissfully ignorant of the horrors that transpired within. Survivors faced the crushing weight of their memories, haunted by what had unfolded. Government cover-ups shadowed their words, as whispers of Dr. Taylor's fate surfaced among hushed conversations in shadowed corners. Yet hints of a larger conspiracy loomed, stoking the embers of fear that had ignited within them. Each survivor bore a mark, silent witnesses to truths that refused to fade, reminders that some shadows were best left undisturbed.